Hi Carlton, it's Kim Salgado with Southern New Hampshire University. I I felt like the best thing to do was show you a video. So I made one for you on how to grade within the rubric. Um, I see some back and forth between you and your team lead, so I just thought this might be the easiest way to take care of the situation. So as you can see, I'm in your class. Right now, I'm looking in your grade book. And what I've done is I've pulled up week 1 here for us to take a look at. And there's a couple different ways where how you can grade. You can do it a couple different ways. If you want to just pop into the actual submission, you can start there. And that's what I've done here, and I'm going to pull my little screen up so you can see that I'm going to maximize this window up here. But as you can take a look at right here, and you see there's no feedback from you in the rubric. So to add feedback on the elements here, you would push this blue button and then you would just type in the box, and then you would come over here and hit done. Okay, well, I'm going to X out because I'm not going to type anything here for you. But the cool thing about grading this way is you can actually scroll down, and I know you can't see my scroll bar. I'll move this over here, but you can actually scroll down. And as you see over here, this is the only feedback that she has from you, or yes, Soraya has from you, is what you've typed in this box right here, which is wonderful, and we want you to type in this box. But what we really want you to do is we want you to put feedback here as it directly relates to the actual pieces of her assignment. The comprehension of her discussion board. Did she answer all of the questions that were in the week 1 discussion? If she did, yes, perfect for the 40 points here. We'd also like you to elaborate on what it is that she did so well. If she did perfectly on this, what did she explain that was so good? So tell her what she did well. Engagement, this is for the 2 response posts, and it looks like she does have 2 response posts here, which is wonderful. I'm not going to double check the dates on them to make sure they were in a timely fashion, but that would be the next part of it. Is her initial post needs to be timely. She needs to respond to 2 for the engagement, and then overall, how's her writing? Is she clear? Does she use citations if she quoted someone else's work? That kind of thing. But all you have to do is scroll down here. You can see her actual submission, and you can pop back up here. You can add some feedback. You can give her just a little bit more detail, especially, and I'm going to exit out of this one, especially those students who maybe did not do as well. Let me pop down here and let me go to Jonathan McDonald's. So Jonathan just got proficient. He did submit his initial post on time, it looks like. He did do 2 response posts. This one's a pretty little shy of what? Let's see what you say. Great work. Sounds like you're ready to start. Okay, so basically you just said great work, but you took off points. So how does Jonathan know why he didn't get exemplary for his initial post? When I'm just looking at it, my gut tells me he didn't answer all the questions. I would have to go back and double check. But just because of the brevity of this, but you need to tell him why he did not get full credit for that, so that when he reads his feedback next week, he will implement those suggestions that you gave him to get full credit. Same thing goes for this. My gut tells me that you just really weren't happy probably with one of these posts. He probably wasn't adding value. He probably wasn't adding to the discussion. At least he did too. But, You can always do that in a positive way to push students towards critical thought, to push students towards doing a better job the next time. So that's what we want to see from you. You do not have to put feedback in every single one of the rubric boxes, but we want you to put feedback in the boxes where they lost points. And if they did get a perfect score, then, tell them what they did that was so great, and it can just be, hey, I really enjoyed the way that you explained whatever, whatever it could potentially be. I'm jumping over into the short responses here. I don't see any feedback here either in the feedback section, and I just want you to understand, Carlton, that this is a requirement. You have to give feedback. That's how students learn. That's how students grow in the topic. That's how they understand how to critically think. You did an especially good job of explaining how culture and environment impact our habits. This is great. What I would do next time is I would say, Alexander, see the rubric for my feedback. I would take this particular sentence and I would put it in the spot in this rubric where it works. So I'm gonna assume that it's probably should have been here in critical thinking or the relevance of the topic. And in this type of rubric, an assignment rubric, you would just come over here and you would actually click on the pencil. And this is where you can type the feedback here, and you would save it. And then when you're done adding feedback in all of the rubric, you're going to scroll down, and I'm going to move my little bar so you can see it, and you have to hit save and record here. Okay? Just so you know. I'm popping out again. Also too, if you're updating something in here or you're adding something to this box after you added something to the rubric, I would hit this update button before you click out of this. So that is how to give feedback in the rubric. I'm going to pop over here to your discussion boards so you can understand what your team lead and I are seeing. When we look at your weekly post for week 1, we do appreciate all of the posts that you did, very much so. Definitely an improvement from, I believe, the last time you taught, which I want to say was 18 EW1 or EW2, when we were missing a lot of your discussion board presence. But as I also noticed that all of your posts, it looks like, are done on March 10th. And that's not really what we want. We don't want you popping in and they're late. They're like Sunday night late. We don't want you popping in the last day of the week and adding your discussion board posts. We want you popping in 1 or 2 times during the week while the students are there, pushing the topic, adding your expertise and your professionalism about the topic, asking Socratic questions. Your job here is to get them talking to each other, to get them talking about the topic for the week, and to push them to critical thought. I can send you a ton of examples on that if you need those, but popping in on Sunday night after everybody has posts is not what we're expecting from you. We want you to be in before Sunday night at 11 o'clock. Because students, after they posted on Thursday, their initial posts, and done their response posts, usually probably Friday or Saturday. I know when I'm in school, I always do mine at least a day early before the deadline. These students aren't going to pop back in and read what you wrote if you're going to pop in on Sunday midnight, They're moving on to the next week. So I would really appreciate it. It looks like week 2 is done already. I would really appreciate it if moving forward, let's say for week 5, if you could please be engaged at least a couple days during the week. It looks like, I think you may have done the same thing March 17th, Yes, which is Sunday. Again, 10:39 on Sunday, week 2, March 17th. Yep. Yep. It looks like that's what you did. So, when I teach Carlton, I'm always in there either Thursday night or Friday night at least. Usually I'm in there early during the week. I'm usually in there on a Monday or Tuesday just because I want to put in the zeros for those students that did not do anything for the discussion board. And something else I do that I didn't really show you is I write them a little note. If they get a 0, I put a little note in there when I add their 0 for that week. Like this dude, or this lady, Carolyn. And maybe you did. Let me look. No, you didn't give Carolyn any feedback. Well, Carolyn missed this assignment. My suggestion to you is when you give them the 0, put a little note in here that tells her that you missed her that week. You know what, Carolyn? I missed your short responses for this week. This is an assignment, so you still have until Sunday midnight to turn it in for a 10% late penalty. Please give me a shout or send me an email if there's anything else you need. So I'm doing that when I teach. I'm doing that on Monday and Tuesday, and I'm making sure I leave notes for everybody who did not turn in their assignments. And while I'm in there, I'm answering all of those for the next week that have already come in and done their initial post. My thoughts are, if a student is going to go into a discussion board and be in there before Thursday and do their initial post, then they deserve to hear from me. I deserve to give them special attention because they posted early. We want that, don't we? Right? Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry it was so long. It looks like it's 12 minutes. I hope you listen to it and hope you learn from it. And if you have any questions, please give me a shout. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.